And alrighty, let's get into the game.
Okay, we're going to start on the next one then. Hopefully not more 9 pools. But
it would be 9 pool versus Protoss is a lot more interesting than 9 pool versus Zerg. Alright, in the bottom right hand corner we have Irk-Ashen representing his clan, playing for Team MCS. And in the top right we have Bojack, the red Zerg. So I'm curious to see what Bojack's plan for the game is. I'm pretty sure we can expect Forge Fast Expand from a tier 3 player. But Bojack,
I've seen some players do Gateway Expand. Now the question of they do it the way you're supposed to, a lot of them seem to do Gateway and then get a Forge for safety, which kind of misses the point. But I do believe Ashen does do Forge.
It's funny, I distinctly remember one of my first introductions to PvZ was there are Gateway Expand Protosses and there are Forge Expand Protosses, and they don't particularly like each other. And I think that's hilarious and slightly true. Because
it's a very different style mindset. I tried doing Gateway Expand when I was learning the matchup, and the moment I switched to Forge, I'm like, oh no, this is way more me, 100%.
Yeah. I like Gate Expand a lot, but it's really fragile to play it with 100 APM.
That's completely fair. Now we do get an overpool from Bojack, so stock standard for this kind of matchup,
nice.
And we
My
got
favorite
Forge from Ashen. So we're going into a normal game. It looks like
Ashen will scout last, so he may have to. We'll see what he's doing as far as cannon or expansion. I personally build a Nexus blind, but that is risky, especially in the finals. I think we're very risk adverse, judging by last game.
Yeah, I would blind 1 cannon if I don't scout.
Which is what he's doing.
And we already see on Ashen, looks like he's really thought this now, because the way he's built his pylon and cannon, I would be scared so much to block my Nexus. I'm not strong enough character.
Let me give you a caster hint to know whether or not something is blocking something else. All of the modern maps have little spots where the Nexus is supposed to go. You see the black stuff? If it's not on the black stuff, it's not blocking.
No, I know it was fine, but I just, I would get nervous.
Oh, fair enough.
I know it was fine.
Oh, he catches the probe. Oh, that's brutal. He saw the hatchery, but still, that's horrible.
Yeah, you don't see if there's the 3rd hatch in the main, you don't see if there's gas being mined yet, you're losing a lot of information. Can't afford to lose the probe.
Where's
that fast.
Probe going? Oh, because he's worried that the stuff came across the map. That makes sense. Which it is now coming across the map.
How much of a gap is here between the gateway and those little rocks? It looks like there's still
it's a 2 probe gap. It definitely is. But versus 4 lings, a 2 probe gap with 1 probe in it is technically doable. Ooh, the probe gets out. That's great for Ashen. That really gives him a lot of opportunities, because Bojack can't build any more lings without delaying his build, so he won't. Oh, he did. He actually built 2 more before that probe even got out. Interesting. 4
actually
more.
Built 2, 2 from each one. Maybe wanted to
that's
force
a good
couple
scout
more
for Ashen. Oh, he doesn't get into the main. Oh god, that's brutal.
Yeah, when you don't know the lair timer or anything, Ashen's playing very in the dark.
Yeah, there's a zealot.
We'll have to see where he's. Yeah, we'll have to see which path he goes, but being this in the dark, I assume you have to rush Stargate. You have to get a Corsair in the sky and see what's going on.
I mean, yes, or you have to do something completely insane. Those are your options, but he's going to go Stargate. Bojack not pushing, going up to layers, so he'll have his Spire just in time for everything else. I'm concerned for our Protoss player who's just blind and hasn't built cannons, so he's taken that risk, which is turning out to have paid off. But wow, that's an uncomfortable way to play.
Yeah, especially knowing some of the people, especially in tier 3 or tier 2, like when people, especially if they see that they denied your scout, it's so tempting to just 3-hatch Hydra, like on the spot, like, oh, you'll have no idea.
That's certainly true. I'm surprised he didn't choose to do the 3 zealot push that he normally that most Protosses do, just to check the number of lings and stuff. But
I think it's smart here because Bojack did poke at the front and showed 8 lings. So if he's moved out with his zealots, these lings run in the main.
Right. Well, yeah.
Well, we do have the first Corsair going out right now and beelining right for the main to see what's going on.
Okay, this looks like very traditional 5-hatch Hydra. 4-hatch Hydra. There's no 5th. Second gas though. That's wait. That's normal timing. Never mind. I'm wrong.
Now we do have 2 more hatcheries in production, so it is going to be the 5 like normal.
Yep. Okay. How about the 3rd? +1, halfway done. Legs has not started, but there is a citadel, and he has not built any more gateways, so I am interested. Because normally by now there's more gateways than this. Scourge about to pop. Let's see if Ashen's paying attention. Oof! No, he's not. Loses the first Corsair. But there is already a second Corsair out, and a 3rd one on the way.
Yeah, I like that he is keeping up on the Corsair production. You see the Spire, but a lot of people do just skip Mutas, but you still have to respect it. Both players really being aware of the risks and making sure they're covering bases. But those 2 Scourge on top of that Stargate is a nightmare.
Oh yeah, that's a pain. Serious pain. Cannon's most of the way down now. I'm curious as to what Ashen's game plan is here, because he's not making any of the, like, clear, I'm going to do this next moves. Like, there isn't a 7:30 attack coming because he didn't build the gateways early, and there isn't a... I mean, he's just doing the traditional standard, I'm going to tech up to X and attack.
Well, we do see the Zealots moving out from the front and getting all the kills on those lings are at the front.
Yeah,
so.
it's unfortunate he didn't pull them back, but the defenses are completely fine for our friend Bojack. He's got Hydras, he's got Sunkens, he'll be fine.
He doesn't have a lot of Hydras, and there's a singular Sunken at the natural. There's only 1 at the other base, and +1's about to finish, so this could actually do some decent damage.
Well, I thought he'd have built more Hydras by now, but instead he built Scourge and floating minerals, so never mind. This could be quite bad.
Yeah, we do have the Lurker aspect on the way, but it ain't going to be done in time.
Fast, but a little uncomfortable. Yeah, good surface area on the Zealots. Excellent surface area on the Zealots. And the Sunken is 1 hex too high. Ooh, that's rough. He will clean this up, but he lost a couple of Hydras, and, well, I would have expected him to go for drones, but no drones.
Yeah, losing all the Zealots here is actually kind of scary because you didn't add on more cannons or anything to the front, and losing the front like that, like, you can't take a 3rd.
Yeah, no, there's definitely no 3rd happening. But he is getting a fairly high Corsair count. I don't know if he has the Corsair micro down. He doesn't have a trapped probe yet, so it doesn't look like he's actually preparing to try and fight Scourge head on. Which is always, that's so impressive when people do that. I can't do that, but there's a couple of people who have switched from Zerg to Protoss and had to learn the Muta micro for Scourge versus Muta. And, oh my goodness, I love the idea of that build.
Yeah, it makes it, if you can do it, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's so risky, especially at these lower levels, to fight Scourge, especially if you didn't go +1. If you want +1 Corsairs, much more reasonable.
Right. He does not have +1, yeah.
We do have some Lurkers in production, a good amount of Hydras. I'm curious to see if Bojack's going to pressure towards the front.
I feel like Bojack's macro is just running away with this game. The gateways are up. The production is happening. The army's building up. But I'm definitely feeling like the Bojack is really getting ahead in terms of army supply and fighting ability.
We do have the fleet of Corsairs looking like they're going to start Overlord hunting, but there's the Hydras are right next door. So
the ball of Overlords is protected. And the third, he might get a few at the third, but he would have to lose Corsairs for that.
Yeah. Now, I am definitely concerned a little bit. You see Ashen taking the third, or he's like moved the Zealots like he was going to take the third or something. Not really going out to actually do it, and he doesn't have observers when there's lurkers already burrowed.
Right. The perennial low-level Protoss problem. Just build a robo as soon as you have the gas after your first Templar, guys. Just do it. It saves so many losses.
Yeah, the moment I start seeing Hydras get accumulated, I go, lurkers are not far behind. So I just work my way toward.
Nice. Did he get +1? Those Scourge died really fast. Nope. Corsairs are just ridiculously good.
Well, he had a couple Dragoons to help.
So he will get his third, and Zerg has not moved to take a fourth, even though he totally could. Instead, going up to 6-hatch Hydra and getting the Evolution Chambers and the Hive, which I think is really cool. I don't know what will actually happen. I don't know if Bojack has quite the skill to pull this off, because this is one of those builds where it wraps back around to being ridiculously mechanically demanding to macro this many things.
It wouldn't surprise me if Bojack can handle this kind of stuff.
That was what I was about to...
I think he's a lock for Tier 2 next season. He's definitely the upper end of Tier 3 to my...
This army movement... He's coming across the map. He won't beat the lurkers on high ground because he doesn't have an observer still. But
he also doesn't have enough storm to just kind of brute force his way.
Oh yeah, no, you need a lot more Templar for that. This Zergling counter could really cause problems for the third, because the cannons have only just started, and he should know where the third is.
Okay, so I'm actually intrigued. Ashen just starting +1 air weapons now.
It's worth getting. I think he got Goon range already, so that's... Because after that point, you start to have a little bit of extra gas. Although, he still doesn't have observers, so I take it back.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have other things before I would get the +1 weapons. Because it's not like he's still building Corsairs or really Overlord hunting. I don't think...
He still has 5, so he can still one-shot Scourge if he gets that +1 done. So, it's worth having. Because the thing is, it's a fleet in being thing. Protoss has to be concerned about Corsairs, Zerg has to be concerned about Corsairs, and Zerg has to not go mutas, unless there's no +1 and the Corsair count slowly gets whittled down over time. And neither of those things are happening, so he's got to be at least partially concerned. This nice pickup on all these free Zerglings, that was excellent for Ashen.
Yeah, caught him in transit going towards that fourth that Ashen's going towards, but Lurker's getting some free shots. Let's see if he notices.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
There's actually a lot of army movement.
Oh boy.
Right in the middle of the map.
Good call by our Protoss friend to pull back, because boy, that could have gone really badly. He's strung out and out of position. This fourth is interesting. Honestly, if he just holds... This puts him in a really good position if he builds enough gateways, because right now he's floating way too much money. But if he can honestly truly hold this attack, this situation, all of a sudden things are going to get really interesting.
Yeah, I'm very concerned though, because you already see Consume being researched, and this Protoss army is getting very Dragoon heavy very fast. So Lurkers and Lings under Darkstorm is going to tear at least the base apart, or this entire army.
You say that, but his army's also considerably Hydra-based right now. I'd say half his supply, as far as army supply, is in Hydras. A little bit less, considering Zerglings.
Now, it is a little funny if you look at the lower left, that the Lings are already in position to destroy that.
I know this feeling. It happens to me on a regular basis.
But we do see a little bit of a fight breaking out here.
Like I said, Protoss is very strung out. If Zerg just collapses on him, things are going to get real sketchy. But I don't actually know. But that said, this is a potentially momentarily 5-base Protoss, considering this army came down to clean these lings up, versus a 4-base Zerg. So if Ashen keeps his macro going, things are going to get real dicey for our Zerg friend, and he's already transitioning into Reavers.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad thing to start thinking about. If you think your opponent's like on hive tech, they can't be far from ultras.
Oh, this angle might be really bad for our Protoss friend. If the lurkers get burrowed.
Does he still not have observers?
Actually, if he intercepts all these Hydras, he's in good shape. Yeah, okay. Poor Zerg. Is the observer going to get there? That's the final question as far as... So the goons will eventually punch through. Lurkers, I hope? Question mark? Maybe? Slowly?
It should be able to. Storm gets some good damage on some. So it should be able to clean this up, but did lose the Nexus, unfortunately.
Right. So he's still only 4 base, but I don't think Zerg has realized that this mineral only got taken. Have you seen anything like that?
I haven't seen any movements towards it. We actually see Ashen now.
There is also... Oh gosh, these lings. There's no cannons. These lings.
They don't...
Oh no.
They see it.
Oh dear. Yeah, this is the perennial Protoss problem, is army movement. You just can't put enough units where you need them to be. I know that feeling intimately.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I would have minded if Ashen had expanded to a different spot, just so it's all a little more central. Like maybe that.
Yeah. I would have taken. I always take naturals of another main, but
especially here, since you don't even get the high ground advantage on this map.
I think it's interesting because the supply for Protoss is so high. I mean, the army, he truly does have way more units. But part of that's in Corsairs, and he's got a lot more workers, and Bojack is totally capable of fighting this. His tech is better balanced, but boy does Protoss have a lot of units, and boy are they scary.
Yeah, this is where I start getting concerned, though. You see Plague being researched and drops. Like, this is where you can start really pulling
but even bases.
Yeah, but
Protoss is very happy to be on even bases.
Yeah. No, Protoss likes to be on even base, but like if you get drops and just throw in a couple lings in this main with a Defiler or a couple lurkers, you can shut down all this production.
There are Corsairs sitting there specifically to block that. That's a lot of Zerglings going to an empty base. Oh, here comes the drop. Yep. Let's see if the Corsairs catch it. I don't think there's no observer in place.
Yeah, I just really want to... Like, if they can catch the one that has the Defiler in it, like that would be a little better.
It's a good point.
Well, we do see Protoss moving now.
Here's a Protoss push. The wings are in a perfect position for a backstab. Not moving? Question mark? There are enough goons here. They will punch through 5 lurkers. Especially if there's no one attempting to pull observer snipes. Okay, there's an observer pressured. He pulls back. Lings. Oh god, the Dragoons don't have any cover. Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, he only showed up with some of the links. We still have some ready for that drop as well.
Yeah. Ashen maintaining the significant supply lead and cannoning up that base he took. That's a lot of Hydras, though. There's a lot of Hydras. Reaver's slowly starting to come out. I'm interested. This pressure from Bojack feels like he's expecting Protoss to have slightly less units than he does. Nice saves on those Archons with the very lowest shields. Gonna be able to go back in and do a lot of damage.
I would really love to see Bojack take another base right here. He's got that top left so covered that you can just take.
He's like I said, this style, this big macro games, this gets really challenging for everybody involved. Ashen, though, is spending his money. He's got some stuff queued, but he's spending money, which is truly important. And these Reavers are going to come out if he does get into trouble. And he's fixed that Dragoon heaviness problem, mostly by throwing them at Zerglings.
Well, the big problem that we're seeing, the Overlord's on the right side. The Corsair's
oh god! Oh no! Which one has the Defiler in it? Which one has the Defiler in it? None of the Defilers have it. Oh, he's dropping into Reavers.
And
oh dear.
Reavers in the main. Oh no! This drop going tragically, it seems.
Oh boy, that hurt a lot. Bojack's supply plummets back down, and he's now back down to almost being supply blocked due to losing all those Overlords. Ashen's army is.
I'm definitely concerned for Ashen. Natural did mine out. He's trying to reestablish this mineral only. He needs to take a real substantial base, though. This mineral only has 6.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why he hasn't taken the natural of the main he took. Especially with the... Oh boy, that's a lot of Zerglings. Yeah, that base is dead unless... Oh wait, there's an Observer. Ashen's going to get on top of it. Ooh, that's excellent.
I mean, it's still quite a lot of stuff. I'm not seeing any Defilers with these armies, though. Like, it's plenty of stuff, and he has Defiler tech, but where's the Defiler?
Right, the Defilers... I mean, versus this many Dragoons, you just kind of have to have it by the late game, because +3 Dragoons are good.
Well, even ignoring the Darkstorm, at this point he has Plague. Like, just the extra DPS for these big fights to have Lynx clean up.
Though, considering that he stopped and is going to let these Hydras just kill his base, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, he didn't have an Observer. That's what happened. Fighting uphill versus Lurkers is rough. He's going to win this, but the supply losses involved are putting him on even footing with the Zerg for the first time this game.
Yeah, this attack from Bojack definitely was very high value for him. He lost some Lurkers and Hydras, but it was mostly Lynx that did the heavy lifting.
And he didn't get the other base, or most of the probes there. And now, oh gosh, Dragoons with no... Oh, Ling's doing the heavy lifting once again. He's going to retreat back to those cannons, so he'll keep some semblance of units, but definitely not a happy moment.
Yeah, Ashen did get that mineral only up in front of his base, but hasn't even moved the probes from his natural being pulled over with these attacks.
Well, Zerglings are getting massacred as well, so Bojack's supply drops back down equivalently.
Yeah, but you know what happens when Zerg lose a lot of supply and has 4 digits of both types. Like, it's only a matter of time before the Ultralists start getting.
Yeah, I'm impressed that Zerg is still on this low of an economy. I mean, at this point, Zerg should have taken both of the mineral onlys and both of the middle bases, and it should just be throwing units everywhere.
Yeah,
But then again, the same goes for Protoss. Protoss has 8 gateways, and it's damn near 25 minutes into the game, right? And these Reavers have not been used all game long. They're just nothing is happening. Oh gosh, you have a storm. Use the storm. Use the... Oh no. Oh my god, that's like 6 Templar. Okay. This game... Bojack has kept his multitask going for just slightly longer than Ashen, and will therefore win. Wow.
Yeah, shutting down these bases now. Ashen down to 1 mining base, and like the way Bojack's been moving around his army and really keeping Ashen on his toe, pulling his army from side to side, is preventing him from attacking. It's been great. It's just no Defilers. The only criticism I have about this game is that Defilers were a non-factor the whole time.
I mean, conversely, there was never a moment where a gigantic Defiler switch would have been a immediate victory, except for maybe that moment where there were a bunch of Dragoons on their own. But
Well, even just to attack the bases, like
Right.
the lower
No,
left,
you're
where it's
right.
defended by can't.
I think possibly what killed Ashen was this weird attempt to switch into Reavers that he never committed to.
Yeah, I think he was like preempting the Ultra switch that never came.
Right. But Reavers are good anyway, so if you've got 2 Robos, you might as well. Interesting game though. Thoroughly impressive from a technical standpoint for tier 3 players to be just like, yeah, let's go play a giant macro game. I'm down.
Yeah, I gotta see what Ashen's plan is, because he's got to establish another base soon. He's running very low on money at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
We
Protoss
see
units
Bojack
are very
getting ready for that
good,
drop
but
again.
equivalent supply, big drop. That's going to be a problem very shortly. And there's the mass expanding I was talking. Well, actually, he's only taken 1, so never mind.
It seems like he doesn't want to go beyond his reach of what he can actually defend. Which I understand that, but I think he could be a little looser grabs.
I think actually he can just rally units until Protoss dies at this point.
Got the drop coming into the main. There's a couple Corsairs, but not
2
enough to shut
Reavers.
this down.
Although they're not reacting. There they go. The Robos go down, which is bad, and shuttle speed will be canceled if he targets... Oh, he's not. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Ashen's only mining base right now is starting to get really low on minerals.
The
so.
Reaver slow pushing its way through all the lurkers at his old 4th. We're coming into the moment of truth where Zerg just runs units at Protoss until Protoss realizes they've lost the game. Especially with that 6 base coming up.
It seems like that. I just don't know, because at least like if you were one of the typical situations where maybe you're mineral light, but you still have a lot of gas, but Ashen kind of running out of fumes in both ways. So,
I mean, a Reaver and 3 cannons can defend a shocking amount of stuff, but not the amount of stuff that's coming.
Yeah, definitely not.
And Bojack's playing this correctly. For all that I keep saying rally units until he dies, he's holding tons and tons of units and just preventing the expansions from going up, which is totally the correct way to play. This engage is fantastic for our friend Ashen, though, and he does have shuttle speed now, so this could be quite effective if he dropped the Reaver. There's the Reaver.
He's queued up a bunch of Scarabs to go with it. Takes a really good fight here and cleans up a lot of the units.
Truly, truly terrible angle for our Zerg player.
Yeah. I don't think Bojack's as concerned, though, because he still has a bit of a bank, but he can't take too many more fights like that.
Yeah, I mean, he could if he was building Defilers or Ultras or using the 8 drones he just has sitting, 9 drones he just has sitting in his natural. But I think he's got him anyway. Because there's no Reavers with this army now. And that was a good storm. That was a really good storm. Does he have one more really good storm in him? No.
Ran out of energy, it seems like.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, no, this is what mineral starvation, or what resource starvation looks like on Protoss, is these tiny groups of units that are shockingly well upgraded and can tear through the enemy. Well, I guess 3-3 versus 3-1 is actually not shockingly well upgraded, but, you know, Protoss units scale a little bit better. Archons are good against Lings. That was not a great trade for anyone, but that was not a terrible trade for anyone either.
Lings are actually good against Archons, too, though. If you can get the surround and they're not protected by these Zealots and stuff, they're really good because they get so much surface.
Yeah, Bojack's finally just given up. He's just going to kill him. That's what the endless stream of Zerglings coming out of the base means.
I do like your definition of giving up is giving up. He's just gonna win now.
Sorry, yeah, that's what I mean of like, oh, I'm playing all. That was brutal. Zerglings not so good against Zealots.
Still managed to get some decent storms to stay in this, but
oh gosh, this Defiler's gonna die. Oh no. Calamity, get the plague.
So
do the
much
plague.
energy.
There we go. Spite plague. I don't.
Ashen's mining base down in the 7 o'clock just ran out, so he only has that new one he's been trying to establish.
He's got 1 Reaver and 3 cannons keeping him in the game. And he's about to probe transfer through a ball of cracklings. Whoops.
We've been there. This hurts. This hurts so bad.
They weren't actually active, so that's one probe for running 25 probes through a ball of cracklings. I don't even know, man. I genuinely don't know. And this one Reaver is holding off like 12 cracklings and infinity other units. Protoss has, what, 4 units? 5 fighting units in the entire game?
Pretty much.
There's a Reaver and a shuttle in the very back of the map.
It seems like Bojack's tired of trying to kill the expansion, just gonna kill all the production instead.
Yep, there we go. A fantastic game from both of our Tier 3 players.
Yeah, if that's game 1, I'm down to see what the rest of
Yeah, let's see here. Player score. That is 1 game for our Zerg player, Bojack. Okay, let's hop to game 2. I'm interested to see if they both just say, yeah, macro game is where it's at, let's do that again. Or if we...
I mean, nothing about that would surprise me. Both players clearly shown they have above average macro for someone at the tier 3 level, so I can see that being a comfort zone for both of them. Very.
In the bottom left, our orange Zerg, Bojack, 1 last game, up by 1. In the bottom right, our blue Protoss, Ashen, down a game. I'm interested because both of these players came out with builds that the like perennially standard thing, and then just like didn't really make strong attacks. I mean, there was that little 8 zealot attack at the very start, but there was no Ashen never made a full frontal thing other than he pushed the lurkers once. Actually, I take that back. But both players were happy to just play really, really defensively and take more bases, which I think is interesting, especially considering this is one of those maps with no real wall. So it'll be, well, I mean, it has a wall, it's just not a good wall.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this one goes out, but I don't see any reason for either player to deviate into a different style. Like, I think they both have their comfort zone of playing standard and just letting their mechanics get them through. And both players both had good spots for a lot of that game, so it's not like Ashen got blown out of the water and scrambled.
No, absolutely not. Overpool versus Forge Fast Expand, our favorite.
And Bojack getting that Overlord in the correct direction for, unlucky. It happened.
I like the implication that the entire audience is rooting for the Protoss player. I approve.
Well, I am. I'm a Protoss player. I'm rooting for the Protoss player.
I mean, there's team loyalty to be considered as well. And also everyone hates Samyang Fire, so like... That just goes along. Hey, they've won like the past 3 seasons. I'm sorry. You can't be the champions without everyone hating you. That's the rules. It's not personal.
They won 1 season. What are you talking about?
Didn't they win last? They won season 3.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Fair enough.
Seeing nothing unusual from the opener so far. Very standard for both.
Super standard. That's why we're dicking about and talking about. Apparently, I've been hating on Samyang Fire for no real reason. That's something new. I thought they'd won 2 as well. Is that fall? I'm pretty sure you put the forge down low, and then it's only the 1 hole, but it's just 3 people wide. I guess either way works.
Yeah.
I think that's a 2-person and a 1-person hole, as opposed to a 3-person hole.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the plan is for the building placement here.
Can Forlings beat a cannon and a probe, right? I'm pretty sure.
Forlings beat a cannon. I think the probe adding in might make it difficult, especially since he has to navigate a little bit to get there. It's not just like in the open.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nope. Never mind. Standard game. Standard. No.
This
speed.
is always.
This
is the worst feeling for me. It's just having that Overlord hovering the Protoss main, just like, I see everything. There's no tricks here.
I mean, what tricks are you gonna pull? 4-gate Zealot?
Why not, man? Citadel builds are great.
Yeah, they are. I'm a 4-gate Zealot player, but I just get a Stargate first to confuse them. But it's certainly an interesting thing. I don't know. I feel like the absolute freedom of information in both, for like the probe can't be kicked out of the Zerg space and the Overlord can't be kicked out of the Protoss space, makes the matchup a lot more stable and a lot more interesting.
Yeah, the early game in this matchup is, I always think it's interesting just because both players trying to cut little corners, be a little bit greedy, or hide a little something. It's not just like you know exactly what's going to happen. Everyone's looking for that little.
Right. But on the other hand, each player can see what the other person is doing. That's what interests me so much.
Yeah. I just don't want the Overlord in my base. It's cute with the skin, but it's not like I don't want that in my base. Get out of here.
Fair enough. Okay, so it looks like the same build from our Protoss player, but +1 is abominably late. Not terrible, actually. Never mind. I'm wrong.
It's not that
He's
late
just gotten his Citadel unbelievably early, and we'll go into Templar really fast because that's his build, right? Sorry. I was comparing it to normal +1.
Yeah, he's not doing the normal. He wants the quicker Templar. I would love to see DTs and a little more activity with the Corsairs this game, but we'll have to see how it goes. You can't lose
That's such a hard
one,
style. That's a gateway first Protoss style, as I would say.
Yeah, probably.
I tried that for like 15 minutes and just went, oh, okay, never mind.
Now we do see some differences in the build from Ashen. Getting that second gateway way faster this game.
Right, and he had the money, so that should just make his whole attack stronger. So that's excellent. The Spire's done. I don't actually see any Scourge on the way, so we'll see if he still gets an Overlord. But he hasn't actually gone for that Scout. Oh, Bojack. I know that feeling where you just dump, build 3 supply structures. He's all 3 of the eggs in his natural are Overlords. Yeah, I know that feeling. Oh, dear. That's how Protoss players end up with a box of pylons in their main. Like, I should be building these on the map, but nah.
Now we do see one, looks like 1 pair of Scourge, I think I made.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what these Corsairs are looking for because they found Overlords and just kind of kept going. I guess...
he actually hasn't found the 3rd base location for Bojack yet.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Sylphin's a weird map. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't blame him for checking the other main first rather than checking this one.
That's such an important thing to know. So here comes the push. +1 is going to be late for this attack, but he's got a bunch of Zerglings, and without +1, the Zerglings are actually kind of a pain. He pulls back this time, though. He's not going to lose the ball, so that's good.
Yeah, I think that was the start when Bojack really got right last game.
Ashen flooding 1,000 minerals during that attack. That's rough. That's really rough.
Yeah, looked like he got supply blocked and didn't add on production structures yet, so we'll catch up to that quickly, but
yeah, no
temporary.
And the Templar Archives is getting Storm, and the Templar started, so he shouldn't get busted. Bojack doing the same, just mass up units, just sit there and play correctly style, which I thoroughly approve of.
Yeah, one thing that Bojack has been doing really well is knowing when he can get away with a lot of drones and not have to like sneak in Hydras here and there.
He's sold them a lot of drones! I think he mined out his natural before Protoss mined out their not quite that fast, but close. But yeah, he's just running a ton of workers, and that's really awesome.
That's the kind of thing where I kind of wonder if this, like, did Bojack come from StarCraft 2, like, bringing mentalities from the other game like that? Because that's a very StarCraft 2 kind of thing, to just be like, oh, I have time, I'm going to slam out 1,000,000 drones.
I mean, you say that, and I'm watching drones hatch out of all the eggs on the map. But yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't say. Did he get his +1 done? Not quite. Wait, hang on. +1 is not done. Okay.
For who?
For air weapons.
He hasn't started air weapons. He's doing.
Yeah, no, I know. I saw. I looked at the. I clicked through, saw the core spinning, didn't click on the thing, and was checking if it was +1, but then I went back and saw it was good range, so I'm just bad. Sad, bad.
But he got the +1 air weapons later in the game, so I wouldn't be surprised for him.
6 Corsairs this time, or never mind, he just misclicked one. My bad. Protoss going out to take that third, and he's got a forward position with his army, which is interesting. I think that's okay. You're allowed to do that. You don't have to be way back defending, but it's definitely a little bit more risky.
I do like the position he took for the third, not taking the closer one, just so it's easier to cannon off. And
no, you don't take the near third as Protoss. God, that's a rough one. Not when your units are as fast as they are.
Yeah. And we do see Ashen getting the faster robo this game than last game, so it won't have that problem not being able to detect a lurk.
And Lurker is done, but he hasn't built any yet, or not started.
He's just morphing a ton of them right now.
Oh, I see. Yep. Good on him. There's the robo. Will he get the observatory on time or not?
Yeah, I would love to see him not go heavy into Reavers, because they just didn't do much last game. I'd rather just see more gateways and more tempo.
Let's say it this way. I want him to commit to one or the other.
I agree.
You can't really gateway Reaver at the same time super well. It just feels wonky and weird.
Actually, from both of the players last game, you saw them go for these tech choice units later in the game, and really didn't make use of them either way.
That's a very good point. These guys have a lot to learn from each other. Although, one thing Ashen's learned from last game, Zealot heavy. He's got all these Zealots. It's going to be unfortunate when he runs into Lurkers, but oh my goodness, he got an Overlord, and didn't lose a Corsair until he didn't turn around in time. I thought he was going to get out of there. This attack is...
he just supply blacked the Zerg and trying to push forward, but
but there's
really ready.
There's no observers, so no dice, unfortunately.
I think that's my #1 thing that happens to me in this matchup is just, oh, alright, I'm attacking. There's lurkers. Cool. Where's my observers? Guys, observers?
Yeah, no, I'm so bad. I just get observer speed and range, and just non-stop produce observers. It's so inefficient, but if it saves me one of those moments, it's so worth it.
Oh yeah, no, I will overbuild them.
Swarm of Lings coming across the map. I don't actually know how the math works on this. His third will survive. No problem. Never mind. Wow, cannon's good.
Had enough ready for that. I think if it was like maybe a couple hydras or a couple more lanes, it could have been okay. He also wasn't focus firing a single cannon to get it down. But now we're seeing a lot of cannons being added, so that base should be defended for him.
Protoss is all just, no, you stay over there. Thanks.
Yeah,
Arms length away.
You can already see this game looking a lot different. Ashen's supply lead a lot higher now than it was last game.
He does do the double robo, but he is playing a lot cleaner.
We do have this big movement from Bojack to go attack that third, see if he can break it before the defenses really get online. But that might cost him his third.
That's going to cost him his army and any chance he has of taking a fourth, which is what he really needed to do to counteract this.
Well, he took a fourth.
Yeah, but he's not going to keep it. Not if Ashen scouts it at all. Not with a 60 supply deficiency.
And that's a good point. The hive is nearing completion, though, so there will be
I mean, hives are cool, yo, but not with a mineral only and a gas base that's got 200 gas left before it depletes. Ashen really playing a good example this time of that just out-expand your opponent style. And this is my favorite way to play Protoss versus Zerg for sure. Because you don't have to worry about microing against lurkers. Because they have to run the lurkers at you!
Yeah, I love playing the I'm going to choke you out. You can have these bases, but you're not getting any more.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was playing in this game, I would just stick a pylon and like 4 cannons at the top of the ramp of his other, that base right above the new 4th. And just not even take the Nexus, just, I want that. That's mine now.
Yeah, we do see Ashen making the claim for the other main right now, so if you can get that
This is the critical moment. If that comes up, there's some serious problems. I feel like Bojack has played against a Protoss who is an offensive Protoss, who I would probably not actually going gateway first, but the gateway first style of thinking where you actually try and gut Zerg and is expecting attacks and is just waiting for them. And is taking bases in the expectation that they will be attacked, and Ashen's just, oh, you took a base, cool, I'll take another one. Great. Let's shake hands and stay 10 feet away.
Yeah, I think he has a good reason to think that, though, as we see Ashen take a 5th base. But it's, like you saw last game, there were some critical fights, and
ooh, that storm.
Ashen trying to do it here, but this time has enough if the forces wait.
Well, if Bojack collapses on him, this is a terrible position, because the Zealots can't get back out past the goods. But I don't think Bojack is microing his Hydras, so I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah, he still has a couple storms left over, and now a couple Archons.
Oh, that was one storm, and it killed like 8 Hydras. Oh my god. Wow. Well done, Ashen. Go up to 3 bases. He doesn't have a 4th. Just roll over. Wow.
It should be able to shut down this base, and then Bojack's going to be back down to 3. This is not a good spot for him at all.
I mean, he's got a lot of lurkers. If he was playing the Observer Snipe game, that might be a chance, but really it's not.
Yeah, but you can't even say Observer Snipe. There's no detection here. There's no Overlords in this area.
This is true. Don't bunch your Overlords up too much, guys. The counters will get this Nexus, because Lings are good, but there's another one. There's more Nexuses, and I don't think there's any kind of counterplay to this expansion combined with having lost that many drones. I mean, the base had mined out, so it was actually just he lost a hatchery. So now that I'm looking at this, I may have been overestimating the damage done, because I think he pulled the drones. It looks like he pulled drones, question mark? No? Maybe? Maybe a few?
Yeah, I think a few, not all of them, though. But if you actually look at the supply difference compared to when that fight started, it didn't really do like really critical damage. The gap actually closed a little bit in Bojack's favor.
I mean, you say that, but the economic situation and the number of cannons on the map is beginning to look rather insurmountable.
Oh, for sure. Now we do see Ashen going back into 2 Reavers at a time and getting his shuttle speed. Just hopefully he's a little more active with them this time.
Yeah, yeah. Although, on the other hand, considering the way that game went, I can't super blame him. He was really... You could see him maxing out on multitask in that last game.
Yeah, I think this one will be a little easier for him because he already has these other bases really established.
Right.
He's not fighting for control of the map quite as much.
Consume
and this
drop
map is a lot
both
easier.
on the way. This probe transfer will go untouched, which I think means we're in the in-game now for our unfortunate Zerg friend.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely spots last game where Bojack was getting behind, and his army movement with these situations, moving little groups of Lings, little group of Hydras, he clawed his way back into it. So
that's a good point. And I was talking about cannons like they were the end all, but Defiler and 1 Ling.
Yep. Now we do see Ashen taking the main to go with that natural. I would love to see some more.
Here's a drone about to find out just how in trouble Bojack is. Although, considering his position, he could try and collapse on the cannons before his Protoss opponent can get up there. Although, lurkers are not the solution to cannons. Zerglings are. I don't know. There's the Zerglings. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, all those lurkers, they fire through 3 rows of cannons with the spines.
This is
That's
true,
cool.
actually. Splash damage is good, but Zerg units are better. Although the number of probes at this base begins to worry me very much. And the lurker field between the advancing army, although he's got observer speed, so actually he should be okay.
But it's going to give him enough time to kill.
Detection here. Oh no, the observer walks away. Oh gosh.
There's a couple of observers here, so he should be able to clean this up without too much issue. But
he loses
Bojack
the base
shutting down
and all the probes. So that puts Bojack back on reasonably okay situational footing. There was a DT here. I just saw it.
Yeah, the one bad thing that Bojack didn't run into the main.
Oh, there's a DT at the. There it is. There's a DT at the third base. That's about to literally kill a hatchery by itself, except not quite. But these hatcheries are both lower health than they were. I like the DTs wandering around the map. That's awesome. And I don't think Bojack ever realized there was a base in here.
Yeah, he never saw the buildings in the main at all. It looked like he was about to bring Lings in, but he brought him into the fight instead. He hasn't.
But our Protoss player's macro is slipping. I mean, that said, Bojack isn't doing too hot on macro either. Ultra Lisks, Ultra Lisks, Ultra Lisks.
Yeah, that seems to always be the solution, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen right now.
Here's the drones going out to take these bases to discover, hey, wait, there's still units there!
There's nothing actually to defend that 12, though. No cans.
Yeah, I don't think he can, actually. Short of rolling his whole army up there, and then his main becomes undefended. I guess he won't even try. He's just going to sit where he's sitting and hold position.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we look at the situation we're in now,
wow! I can't believe Bojack managed to bring that back. I guess Ashen's reaction time was just a little too low, maybe? I don't know. It's wild to me that this game is not in Ashen's favor anymore.
Yeah, I think Ashen had a good lead, but didn't really be proactive with it. He was just like, oh, I can get a base, and then he didn't.
Honestly, if he just put his army in the middle of the map instead of in front of his natural, the situation would have been a very different game. Although he does have 5 Reavers, so if anything can turn a game around, it's that much stuff.
Yeah, but we gotta see, because the last game he had plenty of Reavers, and they didn't really do much until it was Reaver versus Lurker honor fight over at the 4th.
Honor fight. That's very true. That said, this the mass expand from Bojack, the 3 bases, or well, 2 bases and a drone getting ready to take a base all at the same time. This is going to be real hard for a bunch of Reavers
3
to deal
o'clock
with.
base. The lurker drop at the 3 o'clock.
Oh.
But he burrowed one of them in range of a can, but the other one's going to shut down that mining really easily.
I don't honestly know what the Protoss reaction is to that. I think he has to send a Reaver over there.
Likely, but now Ashen is down to 1 mining base.
And Bojack has 1 mining base.
He still has some stuff in his main. It's not great for a while, but...
Oh, actually, never mind. Yeah, 2 mining bases. Definitely a weird game where everyone's expanding a ton, but they're also just stuck on low economy. Both players are better at killing expansions than taking them. Although this base in the bottom corner is worrying me quite a lot. Although I think, yeah, he just saw that with the Reavers, so he should be able to just drop and wipe that out. And there is also no detection, so if he just sticks his army between the base and his opponent, things should get real interesting in a moment. This big fight is going to be... I think Protoss has a bad angle, honestly. And he doesn't have the Reavers with him, which is fairly important.
I think he's okay with this fight though, because the lanes were so far ahead of all the other units.
That's true. Oh wow, that's brutal. That was... Oh boy. Okay. Fair enough. The Reavers aren't being active, but I don't think he needs the Reavers at this point. Although lurker fields are lurker fields and are stupendously good.
We see Ashen keeps pushing towards his base, but it doesn't have any minerals anymore.
Right, it's not actually that
go for the
important
stuff at the
to make this pressure happen. Although I guess, considering he killed the other base, Bojack is literally now down to basically 1 base. 2 bases. Never mind.
Yeah, he established the one at the 1 o'clock, but needs to. That's where I would be targeting right now is Ashen, because that has like the least amount of defense and the clearest path.
I don't think Ashen knows it's there.
Like, I don't get why he's using units when he already has the Reaver sieging these lurkers. Like, he doesn't need to rush this. He's getting caught out and back in.
I guess to prevent them from doing that, but running up a ramp at Reavers, not the wisest of all decisions, although he got one with Lings, so I think it ran out of Scarabs, question mark?
No, just the amount of time between shots. They both had a couple left.
Okay. The 4 HP Reaver of Doom. Continuing to advance.
Yeah, we do see... Like, it's just these little scrappy fights in the middle of the map, but they're just kind of they're just there. They're not like at an established base that's really critical. It's just, oh, we're gonna keep fighting over.
I mean, that said, there's 7 Archons in this 8, 9 Archons in this army. I begin to think the situation goes in our Protoss player's favor again, especially now that he's got this mineral only set up.
Yeah, as long as he can keep these basics, he has.
Well, I mean, if Zerg just built enough, moved his drones, and well, I guess he kind of has moved his drones, but like, if he was just full-on all-out macroing instead of having a 3K, 1K bank, the situation would be very different. Reaver drop in the main. I wonder what he's gunning for. Is he trying to kill tech?
Maybe just the Defiler Mound. Plague just getting research, so if he can stop that, that's actually kind of big.
Yeah, it's useful. The Evolution Chamber dies from splash damage. Nice. Oh dear. I don't know. Interesting. Curious.
I think it's just him trying to buy time to get these expansions up, because he's trying to take that at 7 o'clock again.
Right, with a Reaver on the top of the ramp. That's sketch to try and push up against Reavers and cannons. That's really hard. Although this base is dead again.
Yeah.
really
Yeah, Bojack-
slow reaction from our friend Ashen. He is losing all of the probes. And now the Nexus goes down. Wow.
Yeah, Ashen isn't making enough mineral to keep losing things like this, where he
Right. I mean, eventually they'll just be Infinity Archons, and that's not a terrible composition versus Zerg, but yeah, no, not going well.
But he is moving.
Okay,
towards
he's
that
found the base.
clock.
There we go. This should be it. With this many Archons, it's
Yeah, the other hatchery just finished. No defense, no drones there either, so
Yep.
should be able to shut these down, and then Bojack.
I mean, if he gets a Ling counterattack on either one of the two bases that Ashen's trying to build, then the situation goes right back to where we were. But I don't think that's happening now. And his mineral only is getting close to mining out. I don't know. I think this is it. The Zerglings into a choke versus 20 Archons should just be it. I don't think there's any more. Yeah. I mean, Bojack's bank is so huge that he can. Okay. GG. Excellently played from both players. Okay. Player score. That is 1-1. Wow, how awesome that we didn't have any 2-0s in our little series.
That's the way the final should be, right?
Exactly.
Now we saw 2 games from our players, both playing their comfortable macro games, both having that similar path for the whole thing. So I'm curious if they're gonna just do it again, just be like, you know, what? No,
they've got it. Game. There's no way that they're not enjoying the heck out of this.
Yeah, I just want to see who's gonna be the first one to make that deviation to try something else, or are they just gonna be like, well, I won one and I lost one, let's do it again. I'm confident in myself.
I don't know. Possibly the almost the worst possible split from our friend Ashen, because that determines who wins games. In the top right are Orange Protoss playing for Team MCS. It is Ashen. And in the top left, playing for Team Samyang Fire, it is Bojack, our brown Zerg.
Yep. So we're on Fighting Spirit. If these guys like playing macro games, I guess this is the map, right?
Here we go. Although, considering the ramps on this map, I feel like it'll be less losing expansions continuously, because they both had problems with having people just picked off.
Yeah, I think the way this map is laid out, especially good for Bojack, because he seems to love the living crap out of some lurkers. He was making 20 to 30 every game.
Yeah,
so having a couple lurkers on these ramps, this is much harder to stop these expansions. As
a tier 3 Protoss, I can understand why he loves lurkers. Or well, I guess I'm a tier 2 Protoss now. That's weird. Yeah, as a tier 2 Protoss.
Well, since you're a tier 2 player, you agree with my assessment. I think both these guys probably
they're playing at around the level I'm recognizing. So yeah, I would agree with that. They're playing at 1400, 1500. But that's the goal, right? This is the finals, so we want everyone to be slightly better than we thought they should be.
Absolutely. So, surprise, surprise, we have Overpool versus Forge First.
Nice.
But this time, Ashen gets in time to scout to try to block the hatchery if he wants, and he's going to see how many lengths and know if he wants to be greedy with cannon.
Yep. He's being greedy with the cannon. But he does have an Overlord directly overhead, so that's its own thing.
He is getting one. He is getting one.
Fair enough. Ooh, that's a great cannon position. It blocks the way out, but that's cool. I'm gonna have to steal that.
You think that's good? Because I think if you end up if your opponent was going to do a Hydra bust, that's a cannon does nothing.
Well, you want a second cannon if your opponent is doing a Hydra bust, so less relevant. But I think it's cool because it's by the entrance, so that gives you more space to block with, as opposed to having to have good micro. But
that's fair.
6 to 1, half a dozen. Honestly, I think I'll probably still stick with the cannon above the forge in this spot.
So Ashen did lose his probe trying to block the hatchery. So does delay it a
I
little
can't believe
bit,
I missed
but
that. That's
probe-
rough. Wow.
And Bojack already has 4 on the map and makes 4 more lings. So if
I mean, he
Ashen
did
doesn't
this the
realize
game
this
before,
guy-
and there is a probe blocking, so I don't think anyone's in any danger here. It is a bit of a commitment to go 8 lings every game, though. I'm interested as to why he does that.
I mean, I think you can probably brute force his way through if you really wanted to.
He definitely could, and I think he's about to.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Okay, it's only 2 lings. That's doable, because there's only 2 more coming.
Yeah, but look at the money. You can't afford another cannon.
Yes, he can in just 1 second, maybe, kind of, sort of, a little bit. But where is he going? Is he just abandoning the main, the natural? What?
I don't know. This is getting weird.
There's no cannon. I guess he's relying entirely on this 1 zealot. Does a zealot beat 3 lings?
Just barely, or just barely.
He's target
loses,
firing
but
the
there's
forge.
more lings.
I don't.
Yeah,
I think the forge will die before the. Yeah, it will.
Yeah, especially since the zealot can't be on both sides of it. This is going to be a problem. He's going to stop cannon production and open a giant hole.
I think this is over.
Bad.
Yeah, Bojack knows how to capitalize. This is over.
And he's not even like all in right here. He is taking that 3rd base.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's why it's over, because I don't think he'll actually win with this play. I think Ashen will just never ever be able to really contest.
Yeah, the problem being that Bojack hasn't mined any gas yet, so he's not working towards Hydras, he's not working towards a lair, so
I don't think he needs
maybe
to.
a little.
So now he's starting to be all in, but you're right that he hasn't seen a reason to. I feel like the natural's dead.
Now we do have a cannon production in the main and a forge behind it, so he did manage to start a cannon before
But
the
the
forge
natural's
went down.
dead,
But
so I
that
don't-
natural's dead, yeah.
Huh.
All right, so there's our little deviation that Bojack went. Oh, you're kind of greedy, right? And just went for it.
Right. I'm wondering, does he go Corsair right here? Because there's no gas and not a Hydra Den yet.
I don't think you can afford to go Corsair on one base like this. You don't even have a gateway right now. Like, you have to get units.
Yeah, but he's mining a heck of a lot of gas for not going Corsairs.
I'm rating this much more off as flustered
Panic
in the
gas
moment.
mining, yeah, I can see that. Certainly an interesting situation. I feel like Bojack was expecting the game to end and now just has like 100 lings. I kinda think he can kill with this much lings.
Bojack is getting a Hydra Den, so looking to push in and end this soon rather than taking the lair and going into the...
I mean, wouldn't you? He's got 2 control groups of lings. That's almost as bad as losing a Nexus for Zerg.
I think so. There's definitely angles, especially in the bottom left of that one gateway, that cannons aren't going to touch anything. He can start whittling away at this really easily.
Yeah. Wandering out with the zealots. Oh, there's a lot of lings there. Wow, I'm in trouble. He gets a dragoon.
You know this.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He needs like something he can hide in the mineral line, just add DPS, I think.
Yeah.
Like slow zealots aren't your path to victory here, but I don't know what the path to victory is.
It's +1 in Citadel. But that's or Reavers. I would have gone Reaver in this situation.
All right, so looking like we're acting like this game is close to its end, but if you look at the Bojack's base, still didn't get a lair, kind of low on drones at each base as well. So he's going to be able to afford some Hydras, but if he can't end off this, he's going to be in a bad spot, really bad spot. I would love to see a little more of like just in case.
Yeah, I don't. What do you call that? If he can't end off this, I've been playing Protoss wrong. Because I mean, even if the Lings clog, and even if +1 finishes, and even if he gets a Citadel, there's like 5 Hydras walking across the map, and they should be able to end this game.
So Ashen is going into 3 gateways and a Citadel and a Stargate.
He can afford it. He can. The Stargate will only get to make 1 Corsair. He can't make more than that. But he can actually get that.
Well, meanwhile, we do have Hydras moving into the base and he's researching the range. I think the moment the range finishes, he jumps
Well, I mean,
on
he
these
can
cannons.
kill like 2 gateways without taking a shot from the cannon at the moment. So, but I don't think he even cares.
He can actually kill the Stargate.
He definitely can kill the Stargate. I think he can kill the Forge as well without range. But the situation is, I'm curious because Bojack really is okay. Now he's droning, but he's been all in for a very long time. And our Protoss player reacted essentially perfectly. He's gonna have +1 when this attack happens, which with that many zealots is a huge deal, especially against Zerglings.
Yeah, I think he's gonna wait for the legs and then he's gonna force the fight.
Right. Well, I don't know about forcing the fight outside of cannon range. I think he can do it, but I just don't know how Zerglings match up with zealots in these numbers.
I mean, when you have the +1 advantage, though, they die so fast. It's mainly that he has to make sure he can kill the Hydras quickly.
Right.
That's why it looks like he wants to force without the leg.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, +1 is really good, but I don't know.
It's really good. Apparently, it's really good.
Wow. That was insane. That was ridiculous. What? Can he just walk across the map and kill Bojack? I kind of think he can.
Yeah, there's no Sim City or static defense anywhere. He's going into a lair now, but it's only halfway done. Bojack is in a rough spot.
And he's going to start killing overlords. Like a lot of overlords.
And despite all of this, Ashen's still doing his normal thing. Fast Templar, like he's still doing the normal build.
He's getting Storm on 1 base. Guys, you can't do that. That's the defining characteristic of PvP, is that you can't get Storm on 1 base. It is the characteristic.
Well, he loses a couple units there for free, getting a little tied
weird
up
miss
in the
micro
pathing.
stuff, and there's some units in his natural. So I think these zealots may get picked off. Maybe not. Nope. Zealots kill things really fast. You can't take an Exus like this, my boy. I love the enthusiasm, but I'm pretty sure you're still screwed. Storm isn't done yet.
You don't know. You were sure that Bojack was gonna kill him.
I mean, yeah, but he's got 3 Zealots, a Dragoon, and 2 Templar without enough energy for a Storm. Hydras are good, like
He's
quite
have
good.
1 Storm once it's about to finish research has energy for. But yes, that was quite ambitious.
I feel like Bojack just goes up to 5 Hatch Hydra and gets supply blocked. I just realized there are like overlords literally all over the map. Oh, that Storm was nice. He got one of the cannons defending the. Oh, never mind. Storm is the best thing in the game. Don't forget it. Not ever for any reason. Though with this few zealots, Zerglings suddenly become a threat again.
I love that these players love playing macro styles and have their thing, but are just constantly in low economic situations. Like,
It's so weird. I
we're
do
12
not
minutes
know how to
in, the
handle.
supplies are so low. This game is
Because Ashen wants to play a macro game so badly, he got Storm on 1 base, right? Which, like, you are actually legitimately never supposed to do because of the gas requirements of Templar production. Like, you don't have enough gas for it. But he's killed so many overlords that I think he might win the game on supply block alone.
Yeah, but like I can't believe that both players are floating so much money right now.
Right. How can you float 1,000 minerals on one base, my man? How did that happen? And he just built an exit, so he was at one point floating 1,200.
Alright, so we got Bojack managed to get the fence up for his base.
I mean, he's got these 3 overlords just sitting in the open. I feel like he's about to get literally kicked out of the game by Corsairs alone. But no,
we're actually getting Mutalisks.
Mutaswitch, this game. This is the best tier 3 game to end tier 3 with. Wow. One base Protoss versus a Mutaswitch with overlords spread all over the map, exposed to the enemy. A Nexus going down for Protoss at 13 minutes into the game. Just, what is this game? Does he have +1 coming?
Uh-oh.
No. Hey look, more dead overlords. Lots more dead overlords.
Yeah, so the Corsairs are at the natural. He's hiding the Mutas.
Oh yeah, for sure. You have to hide the Mutas. But there's already an Archon, and there's already a cannon in the main. 2 cannons in the main.
But these will kill those cannons and then kill all those probes.
8 Mutas versus an Archon and 2... Well, the Archon walked out of the base.
Yeah,
Never mind.
The Archon's not in the main, so it's just the cannon. But
hey, you know what would be the best way to end tier 3? A base race with a supply blocked Zerg.
We got 1 cannon going down.
Yeah, the Corsairs are rushing back. There's enough Templars with enough storms that it won't be the end of the world. He's going to get a lot of probes, though. Templars are slow.
I mean, killing a lot of probes is kind of the end of the world if it's a 1 base.
This is true. Ashen's probe production has been fantastic the entire game. So I won't... oops, turn Bojack's view off.
Yeah, he's had nothing else to do. Yeah, better be making probes.
Yep, that is kind of what I was saying. Though our Zerg player is really quite stable on his 3 bases. And I think he's apparently staying on Mutalisks, which I'm interested by. But once these Corsairs have +1, the situation's going to get rather sketchy. And Ashen has spent his money, so good on him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a decent probe count, so he's got 1 really good mining base. And so does Bojack at the natural. He actually needs to transfer some drugs. Yep.
Though the necessity for transfer has suddenly been deleted because our friend Ashen is down to like 11 probes.
I'm very surprised actually that Bojack hasn't made some Scourge before this moment because there's no cannons like anywhere to protect these Corsairs. So he engaged the Mutas. He could definitely get a bunch of them killed.
There's 5 and they're about, well, no, +1's halfway done, so never mind. Hey, the rest of the probes are dead. But that's a lot of zealots. That is a lot of zealots.
And +2 nearing complete.
Okay, well that suddenly makes everything concerning. Oh god, the Corsairs. Oh god. Oh dear. Oh no. Okay, he's gonna make it out. He's got enough space.
I was gonna say he's gotta fly those into the Archons. That'll save.
He tried, but now there's Mutas in his base protected by swarms and swarms.
There's a lot of Templar here, though.
None of them have Storm. They're all brand new. Although, if he fights without using his Scourge... oh god, that's it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, 1 Archon hit will literally kill every single Muta. So, maybe not.
Ashen pushing into the natural. There's not that much
2
here to
Sunkens.
There's definitely there's
1 Storm could crush through this fair. Yeah, that's the Storm I was talking about.
Oh no.
Are we gonna have a base race with Mutalisks? Please, please. If there's a god of StarCraft, answer my prayers and give me a base race with Mutalisks.
The Mutas gotta do something. Like you gotta kill the Archons and fight the Zealots with them. He has to just target fire these Archons.
He's got almost another Storm. If this Templar lives, it's going to decide the game. Cast. Storm.
Pretty
Archon. The Mutas immediately run away again. I can't. Oh, hit him! Hit the mutas! Oh god! They literally all would have died. Oh
So
no!
Ashen is basically out of
He's
probes.
dead. He's
He has
dead.
no money.
He's dead. He's been dead. But if he'd killed the mutas, there would have been a moral victory involved. Although actually these mutas literally can't fight 3 dragoons at the moment, so he's gonna have to bring the hydras across and kill him. Having said that,
Well,
he's done it.
He can make 14 more mutas right now if he wants to.
Yeah.
Bojack still has plenty of money from having 3 bases this whole game. Ashen trying to fight his way out of poverty this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is the end. A truly well-played game from both players. A really fun one. Wow.
Yeah, I think you said the phrase, "Oh, it's over," multiple times.
I said it at least 6 times about both players. I'll own up to that one. This is the kind of game that will make me never actually be a good caster. Wow.
That was a great way to end it. I'm down for that.
Fantastic. Really awesome.